So good morning from Koh Samui. Again, another Sunday, and you can see it's like, yeah, it's kind of paradise. People come here to get away from the stress of everyday life. And the strange thing is, this is like paradise, you know. But statistics show that most couples break up on Sundays or on holidays. Why? Because they make stress, you know. There's no need to be stressed here, but people make stress, and then it becomes really clear they are the source of the stress, not the events. Like in normal day life, you think the events, the outer things, are the cause of stress. Now, when you're in a place like this, you see, no, you are the cause of stress. And then, of course, spiritual, well, the way we take spiritual work is that we think we should find a way to get away from the stress in ourselves. So we do meditation, we do try to become the observer, or we go away, we live in a monastery, or we go in a cave. And what do we find? Stress doesn't stop. So most think, well, we are not good enough. Our efforts are not strong enough. If we would really be stronger in our efforts, more strong, then we could finally get away from the stress and be like who? You think Buddha was at the end of his life without stress, dying of food poisoning and having 1,000 disciples that really didn't understand what he was saying? You think Jesus was without stress on the cross? No, it's just like, it's the wrong idea that we could eventually get away from stress, from duality, from polarity, from problems, from challenges, if we really only try hard enough with what we do. Like there was one post from my friend, he's like a stout follower, advaita of non-duality, and then he writes, well, recently I realized besides my inner child, I see the old man. What is this? Non-duality? No, it's of course a perfect example of duality. That's why you cannot get away from duality by creating an artificial environment like a monk in a monastery or an ascetic in the cave. They're all trying to do the same thing, to get away from the stress, but it doesn't work. And actually, why? Because the polarity is based and built into ourselves, most of all. See, and when you look at the astrological charts, you always see there's different planets and there's different constellations, and they all represent different tendencies, and many of them are opposite, like because some belong to the fire principle, some belong to the water principle, some belong to the air principle, and others belong to the earth principle. So there are all these opposite tendencies, and now they are built into ourselves. And why? Why would God, why would the creation make such a mistake? Why, if He could make us live stress-free, just have one aspect, one star sign, and some they are almost without stress because they have almost one tendency. But others have a lot of stress because they have the different archetypal principles built in more than others. So why? And this is the key. If you understand this, We can do all the things that we do in our spiritual work that we did on channel, but we understand that all the principles we have in our spiritual tradition are actually unachievable. They are made, they are such that they are not achievable. So they always become a contradiction to what we are in the moment. Let's say you are a Christian, you want to love everybody like yourself. Doesn't work. Sometimes works a little bit, sometimes it works a little less, but you always have this stress. Oh, I wanted to love my neighbor, I wanted to love this guy, but then I just freaked out again. Or then the good your followers, remember yourself always and everywhere. Oh, and then I have this ice cream and I forgot everything. I was driving, I was in a traffic jam, I forget everything about myself. I forget 99% of the time all about myself. So what's happening? Some they say, well, they make themselves believe they are getting better. Some give up, some get very sad, some get very feeling that there's something wrong with this whole idea. Because they all have to understand, we put an unachievable ideal in our life, be it spiritual or whatever, because this creates energy. Whenever we realize that the discrepancy between what we have as a goal and the actual fact, there's tension, there is pain almost. And what is this? It's energy. And when we understand this as energy, not as a mistake, not as a problem that eventually can be solved, then each time we realize this, something pops and we become a channel. If we use this energy. And how do we use it? By bringing the understanding, first of all, bring the understanding into the moment. This is energy. And second, what do I want to do with this energy? Bring the wish, the goal, unrelated to the problem that you right now feel, or unrelated to the stress that you feel right now. Bring it to the moment. So, just got interrupted. We can't get away in this time of our civilization anymore. It's like where you are, you can be reached by your phone, that you always, of course, carry with you. And then, even if you're like in a river right now, like me, they can interrupt your thoughts, bring some news that may upset you. And because our life, we cannot go in a cave anymore, like maybe 50 years ago. We are connected always and everywhere. It's a time of amazing possibilities, and the possibilities come of exactly that what we least value and like and think we need to get it out of our life. And that's stress, it's interruptions, it's things that are opposite to what you wanted. And I know it will never get easy. So when you, like in the Gospel of Thomas, it says, when you find, you are troubled. So how is this? When you find the solution, you are troubled. Yes, then you are more troubled than before, because then you cannot anymore discard all the stress as unuseful and something that eventually you get over it. No, then you see this is exactly what you will have for the rest of your life as the best thing, as the raw material, the energy for creating what you want. And it's for me, it's clear, it works. I mean, not only do I have the best ever life I could imagine, but also I can feel that there's a long way. Actually, I never never-ending way. It's not that I have reached. It's something that I just found the way to turn everything, every lead, every difficulty into gold. And then of course there are many moments that are just wow. But you know, they will not last. Something will come like a bombshell right into this amazing experience. And then again, hello, wake up to work. And so this is really, I think, the essence of all spiritual traditions. Only people mistake the work tools, the principles that they were told to follow, which are really methods to get more into trouble, more into stress. They think that's the way to get out of stress. No, this is just ways to create energy. If you live by principles, by high principles of any kind of spiritual tradition, you will see you fail. And you fail the more often, the higher your principles and the higher your ideals and the stronger your belief that you can do it. And of course, the more honest you are to yourself. And when you understand these are not the goals, like for example in Christian tradition, to love everybody as yourself. It's not that you can or will ever achieve this, or that in a future world maybe it's provided, maybe not, I don't know, in paradise maybe. But I think on this level you will not achieve it, but it will be the creative energy for you because you live by this principle. If you don't have it, nothing will bother you. If you kill somebody, it doesn't bother you because you have no principles in respect to how to deal with other people. Same as when you have this idea of mindfulness, being aware of every step that you take, being aware of your surrounding, being aware of the present moment. And then you find yourself in fears about the future, about anger, about the past, about completely forgetting all about these philosophical methods, and understand this is normal. It will never stop, because this is not what you will achieve eventually, that you become like when you're enlightened, you have nothing to do anything anymore. You know, the basic idea of Buddhism, where this comes from, is compassion. Can you ever imagine a life where you have compassion and don't feel the pain that everybody around you goes through? So if you're a perfect enlightened master, you think you don't have pain? No, you have more pain. But you know how valuable this pain is, and then it changes. You know, then the nature of the pain changes. Then you feel everything is senseless, and this is actually the basis of depression. Then you are very much away, and then it's really difficult. But when you have pain and you know what it's for, no, it's not so difficult to take. So much from Paradise Island, Koh Samui, and hope you comment and we can be in contact, and this inspires you to some thought and action. Okay, talk soon.